Hey, I'm Bob at ILikeToMakeStuff. Today I'm going to show you how to make a dust collection system that works with a shop-vac. I got some 1/4-inch bolts, washers, and nuts. I got some blast gates, some T's, some hose clamps, a Dust Deputy cyclone, and a 5-gallon bucket with a top, and some hose. And of course I had to put my logo on it. Then I set it in place and marked where the holes were so I could transfer them to the bucket top. Use a 1/4-inch bit and drill those holes out. Then I used some calipers to mark a 3-inch circle from the center of the top, and then just use a utility knife to cut that out. This hole needs to be the right size because this is where all the debris is going to fall through. You want to try to seal as many gaps as you can, so use some caulking when you connect the cyclone to the bucket top. Just put your bolts with washers in and then connect it up tight. I took some insulation tape and wrapped it around the input of the cyclone. This would make it the right size so that I could add a coupling to it and then just plug my 2.5-inch hose right in. Now here's a test just to show you how much of it goes into the bucket and not into the shop vac. I used a T and some hose to make a main trunk coming from the cyclone for the rest of the system to connect to. I placed the cyclone where I thought it would work best and connected it to the shop vac. Then I could figure out where I wanted the main connector to sit on the wall and cut the hose to length. I used these brackets to mount all the T's to the wall, and just using gravity they sit down in them pretty nicely. Now every tool is going to have a blast gate in front of it so that I can turn the suction on and off to every tool individually. I just connect them the same way with some hose and a hose clamp. Connect that to the main trunk, and then it's ready to plug a tool into. One thing to keep in mind is that the blast gates can't set as close to the wall as the T's do, so you kind of have to use the brackets and just hold them in place, but they actually won't set flush. You can see it here. So this one's ready to go. You just follow that same process for every tool. Also wanted to make a couple of sweeps to put on the floor so I could easily just sweep up stuff off the floor right into the dust collection system. And this was really simple. It was just a couple of strips and a triangle, all made out of MDF. I traced out the circle for the blast gate right on the top of the sweep. Then I used a Forstner bit to drill a pilot hole and just to get rid of as much material as I could in one pass. Then I used a brad nailer just to stick it together. This thing's not meant to be pretty, it's just a sweep. Then I used the jigsaw to cut out the rest of the circle. Strangely enough, it fit perfectly the first time. This will end up being really handy to clean up the floor later. My shop vac is mounted underneath my table, so it's hard to get to when you want to turn it on and off. So I made a remote receptacle so that I can plug it in and then put a switch to it centrally in the workshop. For the receptacle, you'll see that there's a white wire, black wire, and ground wire. And on the receptacle, there's a green screw, there's silver screws, and there's gold screws. The way I remember this is that white and silver are basically the same, so they go together. And that means black and gold go together. Green is always ground. So you just mount it into one of these remodel boxes that are used for adding in later, and then you're ready to go. Now the plug I already had wired up, but it was basically the same situation. There's a black, a white, and a ground. Now the switch is a little bit different. If you look at it, you'll see that there are gold screws on one side and a green for ground on the other. Now that means that the two white wires that are coming in get tied together so that the current goes through, and then the two black wires go to the gold screws, the two ground wires go to the green screw. So basically you end up with an extension cord with a switch in the middle of it. But it's really cheap to make and really handy. I mounted the switch on the end of my workbench because it's really right in the middle of my shop. And since I have a small shop, no matter what tool I'm at, it's easy to get to. I used some zip ties just to secure it together and attach it up to the workbench so it wouldn't get snagged as I was pulling things in and out. I plugged it in and it works. Dust collection system is kind of a hard thing to show off, but here's all the pieces. You have the shop-vac on the right, you have the cyclone in the bucket, which connects to the main trunk, and then the trunk connects to each tool or sweep. Each tool or sweep then has a blast gate at it, so you can turn the suction on and off. You want to make sure that they're all closed except for the one that you actually need to use at that very moment. Now everybody's system is going to look a little bit different because we have different tools, a different size shop and all that stuff, but now you know all the pieces that you can use to build out a system that works for you. One pitfall that you might run into, and I'm just telling you this so you don't get frustrated like I did, is that when you buy a lot of these fittings, they may all say 2.5 inches, but some of them measure from the inside diameter, some measure from the outside diameter. So you may get two pieces that just don't fit together even though they're the same size. Make sure that you get enough extra hose and hose clamps that you can cut little sections to connect two pieces that otherwise won't fit. Now all the pieces that I used for this I got off of Amazon. All the tees, all the hose clamps, the cyclone, all that stuff. And so I've got a link here that goes to a page on my website where I have affiliate links to all these items on Amazon. So if you want to help me out and you're planning on buying some of these, make sure you click that and buy them that way. That would really help me out a lot. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I know it was kind of a shop project and not everybody's crazy about those, but in building out a shop, I found that dust collection was just going to be essential for me to keep working and not have a huge mess. And it's already made a really, really big difference. I would highly recommend it if you have even a small or especially a large shop. The next episode of my BrainPick live Q&A show is going to be with Jay Bates, and that's going to be on September 9th at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's going to be a great opportunity for you guys to watch and live type us questions and we'll answer the questions. So be sure to check that out on September 9th. I'll be back with another project video very soon and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.